start with just our vocab sheet, and then we will glue this into our notebook after. So go ahead and just fold this in half. It's going to be a little booklet that we're going to glue in. All right, so we have this, and we're just going to go ahead and cut along the dotted lines here. All right, so we'll do that real quick. I'm going to pause it while I finish cutting these, and you do the same thing. All right, so we have all these cut, so we just can open it and see the definition of that specific term. These are some of the important vocab for this unit. So let's go ahead and take a look with expression. So an expression is, it's a math phrase, that's what we can call it, with numbers, operations, and variables. So numbers, variables, and operations. The difference between an expression and an equation is that an expression has no equal sign. It's just numbers and variables in between operations. So some examples of expressions. Expressions can be long, they can be short. We can have 2x plus 7 as an expression. We can have just 4 minus 5 as an expression, even though it's just numbers. We don't have to have variables for it to be an expression. And even something just like 3y, just by itself, that's also an expression. So just any mix of numbers and variables and operations. Sometimes there's operations, sometimes there's not. So that's an expression. Now a term is a number, a variable, a number, variable, or number and variable in an expression. So each term is usually separated by operations. So each term is usually separated by operations. So for example, if we were to have something like 5x plus 2 plus 3y, see how there's an operation plus plus in between everything? So this, and this, they're all terms because they're separated by that plus sign. So 5x, 2, and 3y are terms. Oh, sorry. I meant to put are, not and. So 5x, 2, and 3y are terms. Now coefficient is just the number in front of the variable. So we'll say a coefficient is a number used to multiply a variable. A variable, so really just the number in front of a variable. But it needs to have a variable with it in order for it to be coefficient. So for example, if we have something, again, we can use the one from before. So 5x plus 2y plus 3. Or sorry, plus 2 plus 3y. So 5 and 3 are coefficients because they're numbers in front of the variables. 2 is not a coefficient because it doesn't have a variable. coefficients. Yeah, make sure I spelled that right. All right, so just the 5 and the 3 in this case are coefficients. Coefficients are always the number in front of the variable. Now a constant would be 2. So that's a number without a variable. A constant is a number without a variable. So if we go back to our 5x plus 2 plus 3y, we look, 2 has no variable, so 2 is a constant. Sorry about that. And then what we looked at a little bit today, we're going to look at more tomorrow, is like terms. So like terms, we've already taken some notes on this, but they're terms with the same exponent. Variable. So the same exponent, I should say, and. The same exponent and variable. So for example, what I mean with variable, 2m and 5m would be like terms. And then another example would be something like negative 6x squared and 3x squared. They both have the x squared. So it's the same variable, but they also have the same exponent. Technically, this exponent is 1, so these two have the same exponent as well. So same exponent and variable. I should have put these over here. That's okay. Simplest form is when something is in simplest form, it's when an expression has no like terms and no parentheses. So no like terms and no parentheses. So for an example, let's write 4x plus 2x plus 3y plus y minus 5 in simplest form. Simplest, yeah. So if we do that, we just want to combine the terms that are like. So they have the same variable and the same exponent. Well, this 4x and this 2x, they have the same variable. So 4x plus 2x, we'll get 6x. And then plus, we can take this 3y and y. Remember, if there's no number in front, we can always put a 1. So that turns into 3y plus 1y, so we just get 4y. And then nothing is with the minus 5, so we'll just bring that down, and we'll put minus 5. So notice how at the end, these are all different terms. They're not like terms. We have an x, we have a y, and we have just a constant. And there's no parentheses. So this is in simplest form. We can't combine anything else. All right, we'll talk more about these tomorrow. Thanks.